Hey, what's going on? It's Vas here from Aussie RC Playground. Happy New Year, and it's time for a tour of the studio. Alright guys, so here we are for another tour of my studio. Now I haven't done one of these in about 2 years. I think the last one I did was around Christmas 2015. And I figured it was time to do another one and give you all a bit of an update on the studio and how it has evolved over the years. And also update you on all the products that I've currently got in my possession, just so that you know exactly where we're up to. Now before we get started with this tour, I do want to give a bit of thanks to everybody that reached out to me early on in 2017, because I did go through a bit of a rough patch. I had some personal issues that I was dealing with, and I had a lot of love and support from my viewers, people on Facebook, people that I've now become friends with as well, and also fellow YouTubers. Rich from the RC Network reached out to me, Chris Licata from Everyday RC, and Chris de Graaf from Storm, which I talk to quite regularly. All of those people, amongst many others, gave me their love and support when I was going through a bit of a rough patch. So I just want to give you all a big thank you. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me through the year. And you know, I don't think I could have gone forward without all of that support and those nice messages that I received. So thank you all very much. Hopefully 2018 we won't have any rough patches, won't have any issues. It'll be bigger and better than ever. And what better way to start it off than, of course, with the tour of the studio. So without further ado, I'm going to get behind the camera now and start off this tour, because it's probably going to go on for a little while, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to start over here where I've got all of these tires and remotes up on this shelf. As you can see, there's quite a few bits and pieces here. A few odds and ends down towards the bottom, but I tend to keep all my remotes here. Most of these are labeled so that I know exactly what's going on. So Italian V3, we've got the Outcast. I have to label them, otherwise I'll lose track of what belongs to what, and I'll spend half the day trying to figure out which one's connected to what car. Over here you'll see where I do most of my RC pit stop videos. Got my soldering iron there, a few liquids, a few bits and pieces, nothing too exciting, some glues and things like that over there. Underneath I've got my shrink tubing and everything that I use for soldering is there, some rags, some cleaning rags and things like that. Up the top there's not much that's really exciting, just some empty boxes, a few other bits and pieces. Over here is the Creighton 6S BLX that I'm currently giving away, or I've given away, in fact, because at the time of filming this video I haven't actually drawn out the winner. So congratulations to you, whoever you are. You are now the proud owner of this guy right here. If you missed out on your chance to win, well, you should have been watching the unboxing video. I had that little giveaway sneaked in towards the end. Yeah, we had a lot of entries, and hopefully the winner is very happy. All right, so over here we have just some bits and pieces, some empty bags. We've got my Futaba bag over there, my Team Magic bag, my pit bag, which I absolutely love. I still use this thing to this day. Absolutely brilliant bag, love it. That is an empty box for a Team Magic J-Star, which we'll talk about in a second. As we pan across, we've got a shelf with some random bits and pieces. Those boxes down there have all got manuals in them and things like that, so that's what they're for. This is my computer layout over here. So I've got a bunch of hard drives, obviously a little bit of speakers going on, keyboard. That's my old laptop that I used for the longest time. And now, of course, I've got a proper computer that I built up and did everything with the help of a friend, of course. I am no good at building computers, so thankfully my friend Alex actually gave me a hand with that. As we pan across, we've got the Crazy Chaos Reaper, which still has that hole in the body, unfortunately. I'll hopefully be fixing that up pretty soon. But we are about to enter stage 2 of this guy, because now I have the American Force rims and tires. So these look absolutely amazing, can I say? And they're actually a bit bigger than the other ones. So you can see just how much bigger they are. Obviously with this massive deep dish, it's going to give the truck a much bigger offset, making it a little bit more stable in the turns, hopefully. So that's the idea with that, but these rims look fantastic. And of course, we have to have the matching American Force body, which you will see on the channel very soon. The Bugs 2 drone, which I recently reviewed. Over here is a Team Magic drift car kit. It's kind of like a rolling chassis, and I need to finish that off at some point. I've had it now for a very long time. It's probably been over a year, but hopefully I'll get to it sometime and finish it off. That's an FMS Spitfire box, which we'll talk about in a sec. Over here, you would have seen my review of this monster truck here, and now I've got the short course truck, and I'll be cracking that box open and taking this guy out for a burn as well. So hopefully that one will handle a little bit better than the monster truck did. The stock ready to run Reaper, which you've seen plenty of, but over here we have the new Senton 6S V3. I haven't had a Senton since the V1. This is brand spanking new. I haven't filmed the unboxing for this yet. Hopefully you guys will see that very, very soon. And then down the bottom, we have the Granite 4x4 from Armour as well. You'll be seeing a video on that very soon. And of course, the Team Magic J-Star, which is based on the E63 HX. And this guy can actually run on 6S. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that guy performs. Down the bottom is just some random boxes and some odds and ends. As we pan across, we've got some more boxes with parts and things like that. I got some spare empty boxes up the top. All of these have got parts for specific cars. You know, they're all relative to their cars. Here are some batteries for my planes. So we've got, you know, 2200 4S, 2200 3S, and so on. These are all like smaller ones. And then as we pan down, we've got my big old Ultimate Duo 400 watt charger. Absolutely love that thing. Works a treat. I really, really like it. And then these are my two oldest chargers. This one here, actually, this one is the very first LiPo charger I ever bought. Still going strong. I've had it now for about 5 years. But these are only 6 amp chargers, so I tend to use them when I want to slow charge something, or maybe even put something on storage charge. That's when I tend to use them. As we pan up, we've got some cables, some adapters and things like that for my charging. Got some batteries there that are on storage charge, so they're just sitting there, not doing much. Another soldering iron, some extra batteries and things like that. Panning down, we've got the Desert Fox from Hobby King, which is broken at the moment. I was going to do a review on that, but now I think Hobby King are actually updating it, so we'll see how that pans out. I've got a bunch of parts for this thing, and I've got a plan for it, but we'll see what happens with it. I don't know what's going to happen to this car yet. We'll talk about that another time. Some more sort of storage boxes down there. A bunch of Lexan bodies, some pre-painted, some not painted. These are all for like short course trucks, monster trucks. I've always got some spare bodies sort of lying around if I ever need them. A bit of bench space, a drill, and a box with some tools. And as we pan up, we've got some spare Lexan bodies over here. We've got a DJI Phantom 3, which is not mine. This I actually borrowed from work just so that I could fly it and learn how to use these Phantom drones. Haven't had a chance to do that yet, but let me know if you want to see that on the channel, because honestly, I was just going to do that in my own time. The Sky RC motorbike, which is a great little bike, and hopefully one day I'll review that and put something up on the channel. As we pan across, we've got the Habao Next 10 SC. This is a very old truck. I've got several running videos and a review on my channel on this truck, but it's been discontinued. It was actually discontinued shortly after I reviewed it, which was a bit of a shame because I really, really like that truck. And then over here we have the Nitro Circus Basher 1/8 scale from Hobby King. This was a decent truck. It had a few flaws, but I'm too scared to use it these days because I know parts are a bit scarce for it, and I really don't want to wreck that Nitro Circus Basher body. So it's a bit of a collector's item these days, and it's more of a shelf queen than anything else. Still runs though, nothing wrong with it. This is an SC8, which is not mine. It belongs to a friend of mine. He's kind of left it with me for me to kind of do some maintenance on. Over here we have the Losi 8T, which was originally a 2-stroke truggy, and then of course I converted that to electric, and it's been fantastic ever since. And then here we have the Basher rally car, which I was about to do a review on, and then Hobby King said don't worry about it because they've actually discontinued it. So that's why there's no review of that car, but I really liked it. It's a shame that they discontinued it. Maybe one day they'll bring it back. As we pan down, we've got the two Berserker cars. Now this one here is the kit. This was the almost ready to run, where all I had to do was put a radio to it, I think. Or maybe it came with radio. I can't even remember now. It was a long time ago. I really like these Berserker cars. I think they're fantastic, especially for the price. But unfortunately I went out to try and really bash this one at Altona, and I ended up breaking the A-arm that you see here. So that was the end of that, and it was really early on, so no footage of that to really show. I can probably kind of show you the accident, but other than that, it was only in the first couple of minutes. Over here we have the Thunder Tiger Jackal, which I have a clear body for, and I've been thinking about painting up a new body and kind of reviving this car, because I've already reviewed it and everything. I really like this this truck, desert rock crawler type thing. Very, very good, very durable. I just think it needs a fresh look, and who knows, you might see this one on the channel again in 2018. The Thunder Tiger K-Rock, big old 1/8 scale monster truck, really, really good. I actually did a review for this a while ago, and then as I was editing it, I realized that I really didn't like the review. Not the scoring or anything like that, just the whole tone and the whole flow of the review didn't go very well. So I'm going to have to reshoot it, and you'll see a review of this guy soon. The Bushmaster 8E is one that I've already reviewed, and hopefully you guys have seen that. Great car, really like this. And of course the stock Bushmaster. These two buggies, I don't think I'd ever bring myself to get rid of them. I absolutely love them. I think these are probably two of the best cars. These two and this guy here are probably the best cars the Thunder Tiger have got in their fleet at the moment. I really like them. I mean, the K-Rock's good too, don't get me wrong, but I prefer the other two, to be honest with you. The Thunder Tiger Hilux, the little 1/12 scale crawler type thing. As you can see, it's still brand spanking new. It's probably got a bit of dust on it, but yeah, I just haven't gotten around to doing a running video of it. But you'll see that soon, hopefully. This little motorbike from Hobby King, really fun bike, but you really need a smooth surface to run it. It's just really small, and every little bump throws it off. So that's the only setback with it, but a good bike otherwise. My boats, I have 3 boats in total. I'm hoping to expand on my collection of boats in the future. I'm hoping to get into the whole pro boat scene, so get something from Horizon. That would be my goal next, and see what they have to offer and how they compare to something like the Olympian, which is an absolutely beautiful boat, and I absolutely love this thing. I've currently got a CNC machined aluminium, I think it's an aluminium prop on it, so I'm dying to run it because I haven't ran it since I put the prop on. So yeah, you might see that on the channel again soon. And these two I've reviewed in the past. Now we move on to the armor shelf, and over here we've got the Raider XL, currently sporting the Traxxas shocks, which work brilliantly on it. But I think I stripped out the spur gear when I was running it. I was running it really hard, and I need to put another spur gear in it. But yeah, other than that, this car's fine. And then here we've got the Voltage Faison, which is probably going to be the very first unboxing you're going to see in 2018, because I've already filmed it, and as you can see, I've already ran the car. So this is actually a very surprising little car. I'm going to reserve my judgment on it at the moment until you guys see the unboxing and running video, but keep an eye on this one. I think this is a, how do you call it? A diamond in the rough, this little guy. And then of course we've got the big guy, the big Faison, which, yeah, what more can we say? I absolutely love this thing. Definitely one of my favorite RCs, especially if you're just going to be doing just some basic paddock bashing. Can take jumps as well, but it's really not made for that. This has a different application, and I absolutely love this thing. It's just such a beast, and you can see I've put these little mud guards on here now from Armour. They actually look very, very nice, and yeah, I might do another video with that in the future. Now here we have my Senton V1. So if you guys remember the Senton used to look like that. That's the body of the original Senton there. But now, of course, it looks like this. I was going to do a bit of a video on this because I kind of rebuilt it. I've got new electrics in here, and as you can see, it's got some new wheels and tires. These are a Louise wheel and tire. I don't know how good these are going to be. They're sold in the Duratrax brand overseas. And of course, I've got a Proline body on it with a matte black on the back. It just looks really nice. I like the way that this has turned out. Let me know if you want to see a video of this. I was going to do one, but then of course the Creighton V3 turned up, and well, this one's obviously going to have to take a bit of a back seat. Maybe I'll put the V1 versus the V3 I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see with this one. The Outcast currently has the Traxxas shocks and some T-bone racing bumpers. I really like this truck. I love it. Definitely one of my favorites, but the Traxxas shocks, as good as they are and as much as I like them, they don't really belong on this truck. This thing does not jump very well now. Well, it jumps well, it just doesn't land well. It lands with a big thud because the shocks are a little bit shorter. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't going to matter that they were, you know, a little bit shorter, but unfortunately it does, and it's great for handling. It corners really well now, but unfortunately it just doesn't land very well, or at least not as well as it used to. So I may swap these out. The Creighton V3, this guy I recently unboxed. I think it was the last car that I unboxed in 2017. This guy here, absolutely looking very much forward to running it. I love the way it looks and how much taller it looks compared to the V2. You can see the clearance there is quite different. So I'm really looking forward to running this thing. I got to set it up and get it ready for a bash. This one here currently has some T-bone racing bumpers and the wheelie bar. You'll be seeing an RC pit stop video of this very soon. It's just kind of in the queue to be released. I'm yet to run it with all this gear on here. And it also has some GKA hinge pin braces down the back. You might see them shining through there. So you'll see a RC pit stop video with this very soon. The Italian V3, of course, one of the sexiest truggies out on the market today. Absolutely love the look of this thing. What a beautiful, beautiful car that Armour have released here. And an absolute speed demon. 70 miles an hour out of the box, and I was able to achieve that quite easily. Sitting right next to it is the Italian V1. This one here, obviously sporting a Proline body. I had to modify the body post at the front to make it actually fit. But yeah, I really like this car. Don't think I'll ever get rid of that either. Down the bottom we have the Zeus from S-Works. Gave this one a clean today, so it looks all nice and shiny again. I actually stripped the spur gear. I went out to do a 6S running video. I actually took it to Altona, and on the same day that I broke the A-arm for the Berserker, I stripped the spur gear on that. So I got to replace the spur gear, and we'll go out there and give it another shot. The Hyper 10SC from Herbal. This one still has the broken steering from the last bash that I did. I've got the parts for it, just got to fix it, and we'll see this guy out running again. The Herbal Truggy. Not a bad Truggy. I'm thinking maybe I might try the Traxxas shocks on this and see how they work on this one. I don't know, maybe we'll try it, see how they work. Let me know if you want to see the Traxxas shocks on the Herbal Truggy. Because I really like this Truggy. It needs a little bit of tuning in the diffs. I think one of my diffs is still clicking. It's still not working 100%, so this needs a bit of attention. Same goes for the MT. I think the rear diff is the one that's busted on this one. Again, I've got the parts for it, just haven't had the time to fix it up. And I've also got a clear body for this, so I'm thinking I may do a bit of a quick rebuild and see how it holds up with a fresh body, a new diff, and maybe we'll take it out for another bash. The Hyper 8SC, this thing is an absolute tank. What an awesome short course truck. 1/8 scale, so it's got the 1/8 scale truggy, so it's quite long. The only thing that really lets this thing down is the rear shock tower, which bends every time you land funny, or you take a bit of a cartwheel or anything like that. The rear shock tower just takes a hit. I really wish they would update the body on this, because the body on this is really ugly. That's one of the things that I hate about it. I don't mind the color scheme so much. It's just the mold and the stickers and all this. It just looks, yeah. The Hyper VT, great car as well. You can see it's got a bit of dust on it at the moment because I haven't used it in a while. But this one here, I think I got about 130 Ks out of it. But unfortunately, for you to get any more speed out of this thing, you really have to modify the diff and put a spool diff in it or something, because there's no smaller spur gears that will fit. So that's the biggest issue. I actually put my Thunder Tiger diff in here with a smaller spur in order to run a 25 tooth pinion, and even then all I got was about 130 Ks. So it's definitely capable of more. It just needs the gearing to be able to do that. This is the Victory X from FS Racing. Not a bad truck. Has a diff issue at the moment, so I haven't looked at this thing in a long time. The shocks are really funny. Like when you first touch the shocks after it's been sitting around for a while, they're really stiff, and then they loosen up and they actually start working okay. But this thing, not a bad truck, just, I don't know, it's one of those trucks that's kind of meh, you know, everybody else has got one, it's okay. The cheaters, these two guys here, I've already filmed the review for this. For these two, I actually did the review for both of them together. You'll see that on the channel very soon. I don't know if I'm going to hang on to them. Same with that one, I don't know if I'm going to hang on to it. So these three are probably going to be the first ones that I'm going to get rid of in 2018 to make room for more products that are coming in. Now down here we have the Traxxas / Ultimate, which looks a little bit different. As you can see, it doesn't look so much like a Slash anymore. Great truck. It's probably, actually it's the only Traxxas vehicle that I have left now. The Proline Pro SC, which I then converted to the buggy. Well, actually the SC I gave to my friend Paul, and then he converted it to the buggy, and then I got the buggy back off him through a trade and some things like that when he moved over to Tasmania. And then in that trade, I also got this, which is the little Hyper TT. Now this one needs a little bit of work. I've got a clear body for it. I've got some new tires for it, a new wing. You're going to see a rebuild of this thing with some fresh electrics in it. It's going to be sick. I can't wait to actually build this. This one is really exciting. The Vitara Kimura, no longer available. No, it's been discontinued quite a long time ago. I actually picked this up from A-Main when they had it on sale, and it was actually a pretty good deal. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'll pick it up. Haven't used it in a very long time. It doesn't have a radio in it at the moment, but I can't bring myself to sell it. It's such a cool looking car. I think Losi brought out another version of it, but I don't like the Losi version. The Vitara version was much better, at least as far as looks goes. The Mini Basher Bad Bug, and of course the Mini Basher Nitro Circus. The Nitro Circus actually needs a little bit of attention, but the Bad Bug is still running perfectly. These things are tough as nails. I really like these trucks, but this one here there's something going on with the steering that's not quite right. I'll need to sort that out because I want to have some fun with these again. These are really cool. And of course the Savage XS. Now I completely destroyed the stock body on this, and I've put this El Camino body that I painted up, cleaned out the tires. These tires, you would have seen them when I did a running video with it. And I also blew out a diff, I think, so I fixed it all up. The truck's fully running now. Let me know if you want to see a running video of the XS again. Otherwise, next time you'll see it will be at review time. Now over here, we have the E5, and then of course we have the E5 HX, and then over there we have the E6 BES, which is a bird-eating spider. These three trucks are by far my favorite RCs from Team Magic so far. This one in particular, the BES, is an absolute monster. I love this truck. And these E5 little monster trucks, you'll be seeing a review on these pretty soon, especially, well, I think I've already done the one for that. You need to see the one for this one, but there's going to be much of a muchness between them. And they're just awesome, awesome little trucks. And you can see I've painted up some new bodies for them. This one here in particular has that going on top, which is kind of cool. And this one, if I can put that back, this one has that going on top there, which is kind of cool as well. And then of course the BES has a great big spider on the back of it, because of course it's bird-eating spider, so it kind of makes sense. The original gold body that I painted up for this, if I can put that back, the original gold body that I painted up for that truck pretty much got destroyed. So I painted up a new one, but I haven't really used the truck all that much since. Plus I've still got the original grey body, which if I want to use it, I'll probably use that because I don't really want to wreck these bodies. The Team Associated Rival. This is a truck that really helped me grow the channel back in the day when it was first released. I got my hands on it. It's still a very good truck. Obviously, I've still got it, still running. And who knows, you might see it on the channel one day again. But for now, it's kind of a bit of a shelf queen. It just sits there, looks pretty, and it's just a truck that I can say, yep, I've got that. I know how to work on it, and I know about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. the Dhk Zombie. This thing here was a great little truggy slash truck. However, the body absolutely shattered on one of the landings, as you can see here. And I really don't want to get another stock body. And what I found is that the body from this car here fits perfectly on the Zombie. So if you've got a Zombie, you can get this to fit perfectly on it. That will fit too, but this here just fits a lot nicer. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Banggood and I'm going to pick one of those bodies up and change out the look of the Zombie. The HBX, I think it's called, T6, 70 mile an hour, absolute speed demon. Needs a little bit of attention at the moment, yeah, I filmed a review for that. I'm currently editing the review for that, so you'll see a review of that very soon. My Thunder Tiger ST4, currently not running, don't really have a receiver in it. The electrics I think I've pulled out, or they're not on there at the moment because I took the center diff out of it to put in the VT. So that's currently not running, but I do want to get it running again. You'll see it eventually. This here is the RZ4 from Hobby King, which was a rally car, and I've since converted it to a bit more of a drift car, but I'm going to put it back to like a road rally car type thing. I was just mucking around with it, testing it out as a drift car. I was going to do a review of this, and then Hobby King said that they were discontinuing it or something, so haven't really gotten around to it. And this was the V2 as well, because I originally had the V1, and then I traded the V1 with my friend Paul, and yeah, now I've got the V2, which was a really good car. This is the Team Magic drift car, the E4MF something, I always forget. Probably the best drift car I've ever had, I've ever driven. This thing's absolutely brilliant. I love this thing. This is an old road car that I bought off eBay years ago. I don't even know what it is. I think it's a Hang Nor or something. This here is the little Rockstar little mini crawlers. I've only got one left. The other one I gave to my mate Paul. That's the little Pitbull, which has since been discontinued. It's the Himoto Baron now. And I think that's pretty much it as far as all the cars go. Down here we have some spare boxes with spare parts and things like that. This is a box just for all my armor stuff. So that's filled with armor parts and bits and pieces and spares. Over here we have my toolbox, which is a little bit out of the way. Some more spares. My batteries are down there. All the bodies. And of course the Fox, the Desert Fox over there. This has got all my painting stuff, so it's got masking tape, scissors, all that type of gear in there. And then these are all spare parts boxes. So they're all kind of tucked in under there, each one relevant to the car, to certain cars or a particular car. That's all them. So that is pretty much my entire collection of cars. And if you're seeing a bit of a blue light on these cars, it's because I have LEDs mounted up. So if we change this out, let's see, we go red. I've got to point it at the thing, don't I? Here we go, red. And now we can go green. And now we can go dark blue. And we can go yellow. And what color did I have it on? I don't know, let's do purple. Ooh, purple, there you go. We'll leave it at that. All right, so put that back over there. I've got a magnet just to make sure that my remote sits there. And now we're going to move on to planes. For those of you who don't know, I do like my planes, and there's some here that you haven't seen yet, some you've probably already seen. So we'll start down here. This one here is the Ugly Stick. This belonged to Paul. Paul lent it to me. I flew it once. I went to take off a second time. It basically looped and nose darted the ground, smashed the nose clean off it. My Durafly Tundra, I lost signal lost signal with the Tundra, and it smashed into the ground. What you're seeing here is the nose of the Tundra with the motor still attached on the front of the Ugly Stick. And believe it or not, this is one of the best flying planes I've ever flown. It flies so bloody good. Now originally I had a 4-bladed propeller on there, but I came down rough one time and broke a blade off the prop. And I haven't been able to get another prop like that, so I've put this other one on here. and it flies really nice and docile on 3S, but now I can actually run it on 4S because the prop doesn't pull as many amps, and on 4S it's bloody brilliant. My Durafly Excalibur, which you've seen a review of, I'm sure, the Dhk Sumo. This is actually my second Dhk Sumo. The first Dhk Sumo that I had, which I've actually got a video of on my channel, that one I crashed, and it crashed really badly. I didn't want to repair it, so I just bought another one because it's so cheap. So I ripped all the electrics out, put it into this one, and here you go. The Fly Zone, or Hobby Zone rather, a Super Cub S. What a great little plane. This is the one that I got from Western Hobbies back in the day. And what a great little plane. I really like the fact that I got my hands on this because I still use it. Even though it's only a 3-channel aeroplane, when you just want to cruise and you don't want to do anything dramatic like any of these things, you just want to kick back, this is a really fun plane to fly. And the thing is, I can take my kids out with me, they can come and fly. Beautiful, beautiful plane. I really like this plane. Now this guy here, this is brand new, although it has a dead servo. I actually scored this one from work because they were going to chuck it out. I'm like, oh, I'll take it. I'll replace the servo at some point. I've only had it about a week or two, so I'll eventually replace the servo and maybe get it flying, but I need a Spectrum radio for it, so we'll see what happens. You can see my dog over there just kicking back. Now over here, we've got the Bonsai. Currently not running, no receiver, and the motor mount actually broke off on it thanks to a crash that I had. So I got to replace the motor mount, and who knows, I might get this thing flying again. We'll get to that guy in a second. Over here is the Spitfire that you would have seen the box for up there. Now this one I actually got from Western Hobbies as well. This was a cool little plane. It was originally designed to fly only on 2S. I upgraded the ESC and made it fly on 3S, and it flew really, really well. I really liked it, although the stock landing gear absolutely sucked. Every time you came down for a landing, it would break. So I ended up doing something similar that I did to my Dhk Sumo, and that was to put, and you'll see it here on, as well on the Bonsai, I put those little kind of control rods and use that as landing gear. And this actually helps sort of belly land the plane without the prop getting caught. However, I put this really crappy receiver in here. I lost signal no more than about 50 or 60 meters away. The thing just smashed into the ground. I broke the motor mount, so the motor mount's all like wobbly. I broke the prop, the cowling came off. Although the plane kind of survived, there's a lot of repair work that needs to be done here. I don't know if this will ever fly again, but it was a really cool flyer. I do have video footage of all this. If you want to see me review this or give you a flight review, put it in the comment section. I'll be able to do that. But yeah, it's just a shame that yeah, it's not flying at the moment. Now over here, we have a plane that I've been meaning to do a review on for the longest time. I've probably had this for about 2 years now. I originally had 2 of them. One I never took out of the box. This one was the one that I obviously flew. And there's a lot of modifications done to this plane. Well, not a lot, but there's quite a few things that I've changed on it. And if you want to see a proper flight review of this plane, because this is an absolute butt clencher. This is a 100-mile-an-hour plane. This is no joke. And I only fly it on 4S. I don't bother with 3S. And I don't use the dolly either. So if you want to see something really cool, a really cool flight footage of this, because I've got this thing going absolutely ballistic in the sky, let me know in the comment section below, because that is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've just never gotten around to it. Now the SU-35, I think it's called, from Hobby King. This is actually my second plane as well. After I did the review that you would have seen on the channel, I ended up crashing it about a week or 2 later. I was out flying it, it was at sunset, and because this thing's grey, I lost my orientation a little bit too far away, and I zigged instead of zagged, and I crashed it and completely destroyed that plane. So I really liked it, and I decided to buy another one. And it's fine. It has a bit of a wobble, this one. The other one didn't have a wobble. This one's got a wobble when you're flying straight, which is really strange. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same thing as the other one. Now this one here, you will be seeing a review of on the channel, because this was sent to me for review by a company called LED Jets. And they sent this out to me. It comes flat packed. They give you all the electrics. They give you everything, props, the LEDs that you see here. And you got to glue it all up from scratch. You got to build this thing from absolute scratch. And it actually flies really, really well. But it's slow, where this one is really fast. This one's nice and slow. and of course flying it at night is absolutely brilliant. So you'll be seeing a flight video of that very soon. All right, so as we are closing out this video, you'll see over here a Wacko. This is from Rock Hobby. This is a plane that I have not shown on the channel as of yet, but I've flown it plenty of times. I don't know if I really want to do a review on this because I kind of bought this for myself because I really like this style of plane. And the yellow Wacko that I had, the bigger one, that's actually been sold off. And I kept this one because this one flies a lot better. But if you want, again, if you want to see a review of this, let me know in the comments. The Valentex Train Star, which I got from Hobby King, this was probably the first plane that I reviewed on the channel, or one of the very first planes. And I still fly it, but as you can see, it's missing a cowling and a prop. The first time I've ever crashed this plane, I managed to smash up the front end a little bit. I'm waiting for a motor mount, the cowling, and I've got a prop that I can put on there. That's not a problem, but to try and find parts for this thing is damn near impossible at the moment. I've got something on back order from A-Main Hobbies, and I don't know when they'll ever get the stock because it's been on back order now for almost 2 months. So we'll know, who knows when I'll get the parts for this thing. But I want to fly it again because despite the fact that this was supposed to be a learner plane, with the 4th channel, it's a really nice, acrobatic, fun plane to fly, and I want to get it in the air again. And this is probably one of my oldest planes, believe it or not. So it's still here. And then finally, as we come around the wall here, you'll see the Neptune EDF. Moving down, you'll see the Eachine Fury Wing, the, what is it called? Dancing Wings Rainbow 2. And then down the bottom is the Wing, which is a plane that I picked up from Hobby King. It's also sold over at Banggood as well. But Banggood have got the red one, Hobby King have only got the green one. This is an absolutely brilliant little wing, let me tell you. I've been thinking about doing a review for it, but I'm just not sure if I want to, or if you guys actually want to see a review for the wings. So planes is definitely a passion of mine, despite the fact that, you know, I've got over 50 cars at the moment, 3 boats and all the rest of it. But I probably spend more time flying off camera than I do driving off camera. And that's no word of a lie. A lot of the times when you see a video, that's the time that I'm driving the car. It's rare that you'll see me, that you'll catch me driving something that's not being captured on film. So there we have it. That is the update tour, studio tour of 2018/2017, I guess. And giving you all a bit of an update on where we're up to at the moment with all the cars and all the products. There is one more that I haven't shown you yet, and it's actually in here. I don't think I'll be able to open it with one hand, but just bear with me. So in here, we have this little guy. This is an FPV quad, and I got this from Banggood as well. I've had it now for a couple of months. I've been practicing how to fly FPV. And I absolutely love it. I'm really hooked. I just want to learn this a little bit more before I actually showcase it on the channel. But this is the first time you're seeing it, and I can tell you it won't be the last. This thing is a hell of a lot of fun to fly, and I can't wait to show you what I've learned so far and how much my skills have developed in FPV flying. All right, so let me turn the camera around now. We'll sign off, and that'll be the end of this video. Okay, so there we have it. That is the end of yet another tour of my studio. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and as always, check out the video description for more information on pretty much everything that I have here. Feel free to browse the channel. Check out the previous tour videos that I've done in the past, just so that you guys can see how much has changed in this room, how the studio has evolved, and how the channel has evolved as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys will stick around for another year. Thank you all very much for watching. And as always, I'll be speaking to you all next time.